I found a used stainless steel dump box, very similar to the one we just bought. It's a 2015, cost just shy of 40,000 in 2015. To buy a new one right now, same box, you're looking at about 43,000. I went and looked at it today. It's in nice shape. The only thing is, I believe it come off a single axle truck, so the fenders that go over the wheels aren't quite long enough. They'd have to be extended. Rather than that, it's a pretty nice box. It's as good a shape as the last one we bought. It was on a website auction. I bid on it. We were high bidder, but they refused to bid because it was worth more for scrap than I was high bidder for. So the township down in Otsego County has it.
But just so everybody knows, he's got the right to spend 2,500. That's right in our charge to the highway department. So we can bid 2,500 and not seek board approval right away. And that's what we were trying with that, because if we could steal that for 2,500, it'd be great.
I bid was actually 2,100. So
Yeah.
you know, I knew they weren't going to accept it, but I talked to the superintendent today. He said they want 15,000 for it. I said, is 15 firm or is 15 open to offers? He said, well, we look at an offer. So, being that it would take a little more work to get it to be perfect for what we need, I think if the board's interested, give me the okay to go as high as 15, but I'd like to offer them like 12.5 for it. Comes with a cylinder, it's very similar to the last one. It's all there other than,
How come it's there? Was that truck tipped over?
nope, new highway superintendent come in and didn't like center discharge.
Okay.
So they went to, they got spinners like our new truck behind the driver's wheel.
Yes.
So they went to a box that tips sideways and the chain's on the side of the floor and brings this material up and drops on the driver's side of the truck. But no, the truck was never tipped over. I got some pictures of the box. I looked at it today. It's got a couple little dings in the bottom from, dropping rocks into it. But
And the truck that you're proposing putting that on, what kind of shape is that in?
that's a '07, same year as the last truck we put a box on. It is 2 years newer than the last one because we bought it as a leftover model 2 years after the other one. It's got, the passenger side's got 2 holes about that big through the back corner. Driver's side's got 1 big hole in the back corner already. We welded a floor into it in a spot already. No, actually we did. We do have, we bought material to weld the floor into it next year. We figured we could get 1 more winter out of it. So we're gonna end up spending some time welding a new floor into it underneath the bed chain come springtime.
This is one of the single axles?
No, 10-wheeler. Keith's truck,
Okay.
the old 7 Sterling.
That's the Sterling?
Yeah. So, even if we don't replace the box, we're gonna have some welding to do to cut the old floor out and weld a new floor in, and that takes 2 guys about 3 days to do it, because it's a lot of cutting, a lot of welding. It's all welded to all the cross members under the box. It's quite a process. But we've done it on a couple of other trucks, so.
But the new box would be stainless, so you.
The new box is stainless, yeah. It's, like I say, it's a 2015, it's like 4 years old. And the only reason they took it off is because the new superintendent used to work for the state, and he said that truck was sandblasting the truck. So he wanted a side discharge box, so they changed the box on the truck. So their loss, like I say, they paid, I saw the actual invoice for it, they paid $38,900 or something like that. Almost $40,000 for it in 2015.
It must be a rich town. Change.
Actually, he says they're not, that's why they want 15,000.
That's why they're not.
But to take the box off and put a new one on, just because they didn't like the way it spread sand, seems kind of ironic to me, but I love the front. Anybody that runs a front center spread will never go back to a rear spread sander.
Once you're throwing both wheels.
Well, you're throwing sand down before you're trying to stop and everything
That's what I'm
else.
saying,
Find your
you're
hole.
throwing both wheels rather than one side.
I saw 2 tipped over trucks one winter where they had to back the trucks down a hill
We've had that
this-
before.
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the morning, one of our trucks, in fact, one of our yellow trucks, the oldest one we got, was out sanding, freezing rain, 2 o'clock in the morning, getting low on sand, when it was a rear discharge truck, was backing, he backed up the hill, over the top of the hill, and as he started down the backside, he ran out of sand. And down the hill backwards he went, into the ditch. Luckily it didn't hurt nothing, but that's what happens when you're backing up. So, that was something I wanted to bring you guys, if you're interested in throwing an offer, and, I mean, if we buy it, it'll set on the ground till next spring, it'll be a summer job.
Fine, stainless won't hurt it, right? It's not gonna hurt it, so.
Shouldn't. But the other truck we put the box on works extremely well.
distance between rails and, the CA cab to axle, you're not seeing any big change there? If we, bid a new truck, say 2-3 years down the road, these truck plants are pretty well settled in frame width, aren't they?
Yeah, that's all pretty much standard. This box I'm looking at is a 13-foot. The truck right now has a 14-foot on it, but it's actually a little too long for the truck. It was a truck we bought sitting on the lot. It was a leftover truck. It wasn't a truck we ordered. It was a truck to buy pre-emissions, because I wanted to skip 08 to 10, the bad years for emissions. Those are the bad years. Those are your trucks you don't want to buy. Those were the ones with the regeneration that the state had so much troubles with. And so in 2008, when we bought a truck, we bought one that was sitting on a lot.
Where are we in 5 years' time? Repairing the box on the truck now or putting the stainless box on?
Well, if you don't put one on it now, in 5 years, it's definitely gonna need a box. And, if you buy a new one, a new box right now is 43,000, I think he said, or 44,000. So in 5 years, who the heck knows what's gonna be in 5 years? Might be 50.
But you could get another 7-8 years out of that truck. pretty
I would
easy.
say easy, yes. Put a box on, I would say easy. And the thing is, I call it eye candy. You look at the truck's got holes in the box, it's a big deterrent to a guy who wants to buy a truck, but if it's got a stainless steel box onto it, they know it ain't gonna rot out. So, I'd say it'd raise the value of the truck, dang near what you pay for the box immediately.
So you want a motion for us to give you 15 grand to get that?
I would suggest approving me to spend up to 15,000, but I want to offer them less and let them. I want you
Okay.
guys to give me the
I
okay
got
to
you,
barter
but I
a little
mean,
bit to try
that's
to
the
try
top
getting a little
number.
less. Yeah,
That's the top number.
I'd rather pay 12.5 for it, just because we're gonna have a couple extra days in the shop.
I'd rather 11, but hey, we'll see what you can get, right?
I know there's other towns looking at it.
What's
Just,
a sheet of stainless these days?
What's that?
What's a sheet of stainless?
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Couple hundred?
we'd only have to extend the fenders about that much, about 2 foot, so we need half a sheet of stainless steel, have it bent to match up with what's there, and just butt it to it, put a bead of weld across it. We got stainless wire, we can weld stainless with our MIG welder, so.
What's the board's pleasure? Somebody wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we authorize the highway department to place a bid on a stainless steel box for up to $15,000.
Okay, we've got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on this issue?
Good luck.
Thanks.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll go down that road again. I think it's a good one.
I think it is too. I think it's a no-brainer myself. It's a nice box for the money. Third the price of new.
Okay, I kinda interrupted your report. Anything else there?
Mine was short and sweet. Been working on trucks, just make sure everything's good. First couple snows we went out, of course. First snow, you always get one that blows the hydraulic line or something, so we did have one breakdown on the second snowstorm, not the first snowstorm, but the second snowstorm. So I've been repairing trucks, and I had the grate all down. I actually forgot my folder. The grate all, the dump box, which we just talked about both, and snowing and plowing snow and working on trucks. So,
Okay, somebody wanna make a motion to accept his report?
I'll make a motion to accept the highway report.
I'll second.
Second.
Can I ask another question?
Sure,
while we're
go
at it?
ahead.
Now it's time for discussion.
How'd you make out with the, where'd we make out with the sand, the salt? We had that whole big discussion on the salt the next year and.
Well, we still have Atlantic salt, same salt we had last year, but I did cut
Cut the order.
I cut the order slightly, so if we get to our quota and we wanna switch and get some more salt off, Cargill net this year, we can.
Okay. It's still doing the same things, bouncing up the
It
road?
bounces off the road,
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
I mean,
We're
down
more
here,
flexible at an earlier date is basically what you're saying.
yeah, it's big and chunky, and like I told you guys before, it doesn't melt the ice or snow or whatever you wanna melt anywhere near as fast as Cargill salt.
Not enough fines to it.
Not enough fines, yeah.
But Cargill comes back in on the hind end with a brand new price to their liking, so we'll cross that bridge
Yeah,
when we get.
well, who knows, we may, this year, we may never even hit our quota, if Mother Nature does what she wants to do, you know, we can't control her.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any old business that anybody wants to bring up?
Oh, we didn't finish the, all in favor for the highway report. We just had to-
That's right. We got to vote on it. All those in favor of receiving the highway report?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's done. Okay, back to the old business. Is there any old business to pass over? Does anybody have anything new?
Just that they counted the absentee ballots yesterday, so congratulations to the winners.
New business. Any new business to come before the board? Okay, somebody would like to make a motion to pay the abstracts?
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on any of the bills? Okay, there being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we did the budget adjustment resolution. Now, we have to do a resolution for you to send the budget to the county? Is that the
No.
next step?
No, we don't have to have a resolution
We're
on
all,
that.
we're all set there.
As long as the resolution, as long as the budget was passed, I just send it down.
The
to
adopted
county.
budget went through the
Yep.
public hearing,
Yep,
that's it.
yep.
We gotta vote on it.
Yeah, we gotta vote on it.
We gotta vote on it tonight.
Yep,
I thought, I read somewhere that we're supposed to vote on it,
yep,
so
you have to adopt the budget.
I'd like to entertain a resolution. The highway, the,
2020.
yes. Yeah. The Towns Association, in their article, they wanted a resolution too. I don't know why, but.
I'm sorry, this might go,
Yes.
is this?
Oh, thanks, Nancy.
Appreciate it. Okay, so that would be resolution number 48.
Yep,
Okay, resolution number 48 is to adopt the 2020 budget as it went through the public hearing. I'll make that a resolution. Does anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
A second by Sean. Any further discussion on the budget?
Has any of the line items been changed from the proposed budget?
Not after it's gone to the hearing, no.
no,
Okay, because I heard that there was a mistake and we had to fix something on the dog contractual.
no,
No?
nothing
Okay,
on the dog contract. no.
okay. Just double checking.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay.
Abstain.
Carried.
I'd like to make a motion, since we're discussing budgets, that it looked like in the budget that we have not rectified the overpayments to the villages. And I'm gonna make a motion, we give $30,000 refund back to the Village of Palatine Bridge and $10,000 back to the town, to the Village of Nelliston.
Second,
What'd you say, Hank?
second it.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All right, any discussion?
I think it's evident.
Well, this is a property tax-based state, and I am not sure yet, having not heard from their lawyer, what we are capable of doing. I don't know that your motion is legal.
Well, you can vote on it or not. I made it. I mean,
Okay, well, I will vote on it.
Okay.
Until I know that we're doing something that's legal, I have just one vote I can cast, and that's against it.
fair enough.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Okay, the motion is failed. All right, public comment. Yes, sir.
Thank you for recognizing me, Mr. Supervisor. Paul Spencer for our road Palatine Bridge, for Palatine, no bridge, just Palatine. A couple things of, well, I only have one thing tonight to talk about, and it's kind of ranged it a little bit here, so listen me out. Democratic government. Respect. In democratic government, respect usually majority rules, but you must respect the minority. The village is Palatine Bridge and Elliston, being the minority. But as the majority is now the minority, as of the November 5th election, as the so-called losers did carry the villages. The issue seemed to be, snow plowing. There are some ways to solve the snow plowing, but nobody's willing to come to the table because we don't want to come to the table. I had three different ideas, and I'd like to point them out. To rectify the expense of just saying you're going to pay so much dollars for snow plowing, why don't you say that your hired part-time employees would log in their time, fill their truck with fuel, or the truck should be filled with fuel. When they come back, fill the truck with fuel, log this in, and it would be paid your driver would be paid by the hour. Your gasoline would be paid by whatever the price is that the town is buying gasoline for, or diesel in this particular case, I presume. The fuel used would be kept tracked by the number of trips, gallons used. Salt, that's an unknown. Salt could be bought from the town at cost. Remember, this is a service. We're not in this business as a profit. I've tried to remember that. I've remembered that all my life. This is a service we do. The truck, which seems to be quite a bit of contention here, the town seems to be using these trucks 4/5 of the time. So therefore you cannot charge this truck as a total expense to the town. And in essence, you could actually be really generous, as we are in a town that's fairly secure. You could leave the charge of the truck out. The other one is, I think we're buying too much of a truck, or we're not buying the right truck. And our trucks are not lasting long enough, either from lack of care or whatever, I'm not sure. But it seems to me a truck with only 60,000 miles on that's headed to the scrapyard, something is wrong. And number two, why are we paying the extra thousands of dollars for a diesel for a truck that's supposed to last 200,000 that can only get 60 out of it for a bucket of bolts? Payment could be done once a year. The town could keep track of all this, and on April 1, the town could submit a bill. Do monthly statements so the person the village's Mayor Gross and Mayor Post would know where we are at the particular time of plowing. If this would work, the village of Palatine and Nelliston would receive a tax credit in the future, and also would receive a tax refund over the years for the Passover taxing. I know it's kind of hard to say what's right, what's wrong, but I feel that what you did, Mr. Supervisor, I know this has changed a little bit, but when you came up and said, we're going to stop plowing your roads as of the 1st of January, that was a little bit dictatorial, and I don't think it was quite necessary. So I think you and I've already talked to both mayors of the villages. Not that my plan is a good plan, but it's something to work with. Obviously, I could tell by the look on your face, you're not willing to work with anything. Thank you for your attendance.
Anybody else? Yes.
With your letter that you sent me, is that you can't meet anytime before January 1st to get the issues taken care of?
No, because the board that is coming in will be dealing with Nelliston and Palatine into the future. This board is, will not be. That's why I chose to do what I did. And you will know there is no cost to Nelliston or Palatine Bridge until our board is settled with a new board. I can't do any better for you. You're not paying anything and you're getting the service. Okay?
So it'll be in January that we'll meet,
Yeah, we'll be meeting. Yeah.
early January?
I will obviously meet with the new board first. I can't tell you exactly when it will be. I don't know exactly how the new board will feel about what we're doing. So it's gonna take time, and in the interim, it isn't costing you anything.
But I
If-
did hear through talk on the street that in January that you stated that, you'd be done with us on the villages, and I just wanted to know if that was true.
You know, for the 2 years that I've sat here, there's been a lot of rumors on the street, and most
And I'm
of
just
them,
trying to, you know,
and most of them are false.
okay?
It's too bad. It's not a place to argue. It's a place to try to get along, share services, and do what's best for the taxpayer. That's what I'm all about. And I've been having a difficult time, but
Just when the
I can
residents come and
see
ask
some
me
daylight.
these questions, I have to have an answer for them. And when somebody comes to me and asks me that, you know, did you hear anything about that after January, I'm gonna tell you no, they're done. So I just wanna have an answer, so we can go back and say no.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to speak as a resident. It's an important distinction. No, it's not drama. Thank you, though, Mr. Supervisor. I appreciate that. So, but I am going to speak as a resident because for 2 years, I've been taking a bunch of cheap shots by certain members of this board and the community. And tonight I took another cheap shot about that there's litigation pending, and that's why the legal bill is so high. Well, I take absolute affront to that, and I feel any resident here should defend their property and be able to have a fair and honest use of town government and not besieged with things like I received today. I also think that it's gotten to be too far that actually that this conflict, for whatever maliciousness is here, has spread that it's been accused that a member of the planning board actually falsified a document fraudulently. And her name is being dragged through the mud, and I think that's horrible. And I think that should be corrected right away. There's another elephant in the room, and I'd like to point out that, unfortunately, a member of this town board has been found guilty of taking money from the residents of the county and not performing work. And those are the same residents that pay taxes here. And we've all avoided discussing it. And I think that that member of the board should speak to it and try to mitigate the damages that have been placed upon the residents of this town and of the county. And lastly, I think Mayor Gross is completely inbounds to say that she'd like some assurances from the board before the first of the year that they're gonna continue services. There's a misnomer. You heard that there's no cost to you. Your town, your village has already paid the taxes for 2019. Of course there's a cost to you. You're not getting a rebate. It's a red herring, okay? You know, there's nothing in the budget that was just passed here that gives any tax relief to the villages for next year in 2020. You're paying the full shot too. So, you know, we can use whatever puffery we want, but it's not there. Thank you.
Debbie, didn't you receive a letter saying that we were gonna continue the plowing?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we talked in January.
okay.
Anyone else? Okay, entertain a motion to close public hearing, or public comment.
I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second it.
Seconded by Hank. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we make a motion to adjourn, I was just looking at the calendar. Technically, our last meeting date is on Christmas.
Yeah, that's.
You know, every December we change that. You signed the notice out already, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't send anything to the paper yet, but I will send it to the paper. Yes, well, our meeting will be the 18th, December 18th.
December 18th, okay.
Okay.
Repeat that with the police.
1/8.
December 18th for the meeting.
6:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.